What's up, Steelers Nation? Welcome back to the channel that keeps you closer to the black and gold than ever before. As always, we're here digging deep to bring you the exclusive stories, insights, and updates that matter most. And right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are working harder than ever behind the scenes, trying to perfect this roster, upgrade where needed, and make a serious run in 2025. So hey, before we dive into today's absolutely loaded report, do us a solid. Smash that like button, and if you bleed black and gold like we do, hit that subscribe so you never miss a beat. Steelers fans, we need to have a real conversation. One of the most iconic names on this defense, Minkah Fitzpatrick, is now in the middle of a quiet but very real trade storm. Remember when we brought him in mid-season back in 2019? It was electric. 5 interceptions, a 96-yard pick six. He looked like the next great Steelers safety in the tradition of Troy Polamalu. Fast forward to today, it's complicated. The Steelers' defense is the most expensive in the NFL. And yet, down the stretch in 2024, it collapsed. 4 straight losses. A complete meltdown in the wildcard round. And while the offense absolutely struggled, the defense, this expensive defense, looked like it just gave up. Now, one of the names being quietly discussed as a possible trade candidate, Minkah. Let's look at the reality. Fitzpatrick has not produced splash plays at the level we saw early in his Steelers career. Just 1 interception over the past 2 seasons. 1. And for a guy carrying a $22 million cap hit in 2025 and over $24 million in 2026, that's hard to justify. Steelers insider Ray Fittipaldo put it bluntly in a recent fan chat for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. What's the trade market for an aging safety with a $22 million cap hit? I'll tell you, non-existent. That's harsh. But maybe not wrong. If the Steelers wanted to move him, the return wouldn't be anything crazy. Maybe a day 3 pick at best. Not ideal for a player who was once the heartbeat of our secondary. But here's the thing. Minkah's impact doesn't always show up on the stat sheet. He's still one of the best in terms of eliminating the deep ball and controlling the middle of the field. He's a sure tackler. He's respected in the locker room. So, is the dip in production more about Minkah or the scheme? Fitzpatrick is only 28, not ancient by NFL standards, still under contract through 2026. And let's not forget, his presence alone changes the way quarterbacks attack our defense. But he's expensive. And this front office, they're starting to think value. The Steelers are projected to go defense-heavy in the draft. And the safety class? It's solid. Georgia's Malachi Starks, South Carolina's Nick Emmanwori. Both are names that could be on the board at pick number 21. Starks is the more polished option, but Emmanwori has massive upside. If the Steelers can find a young stud in the draft, move. Minkah's contract off the books and get a pick in return, maybe it makes sense. Maybe it's time. What do you think? Now, let's turn the page to another player who's definitely generating noise, George Pickens, entering the final year of his rookie deal, and guess what? No extension in sight. On paper, the guy's a star, insane hands, sideline awareness, and he's produced despite bottom-tier QB play. But the sideline outbursts, the drama, that's got the front office nervous. And here's the twist. Former NFL GM told Andrew Filipponi this week that the Steelers are open for business on George Pickens. Yup, open for business. That might explain why the Steelers hosted Texas WR Matthew Golden on a pre-draft visit. Golden is a projected first-rounder, potentially gone in the top 12. But if he falls, don't be surprised if the Steelers pull the trigger. He had 9 touchdowns and nearly 1,000 yards in 2024. Smooth route runner, red zone threat. And unlike Pickens, no sideline issues. Let's not forget, the Steelers already traded for DK Metcalf. Gave him a 5-year, $150 million extension. He's the WR1 now. So what happens if you keep Pickens too? 2 alpha receivers. Both want targets. Both have had fits when they don't get them. Can that dynamic actually work? Or is the writing on the wall? Trading Pickens could recoup that second-round pick Pittsburgh gave up in the Metcalf deal. Maybe more. He's young, talented. Teams will call. And let's be honest, if you let him play out 2025, he's probably walking in free agency anyway. Do you really want to get nothing in return? Steelers Nation, this roster is full of questions. We still don't know who our starting quarterback is going to be. Aaron Rodgers? Maybe. Maybe not. That's a saga of its own. The trenches need reinforcements. The secondary? If Minkah goes, that's a huge leadership void. This draft? It's massive. The Steelers only have one pick in the first 82 selections. That's why flipping someone like Pickens now could give us a shot at adding more talent. Whether it's Starks at safety, a WR like Golden, or a new edge rusher, we need capital. Because right now, the Steelers are stuck in the middle. Not rebuilding, not contending. Today, we're talking about a key update in the Steelers' ongoing quarterback saga. And no, this isn't about Aaron Rodgers. Not directly, anyway. This is about another veteran QB that many fans thought could be a fallback option or even a short-term answer under center if Rodgers didn't work out. That name? Kirk Cousins. But if you were hoping to see Captain Kirk in the black and gold, it's time to let that dream go. Because according to NFL insider James Palmer from Bleacher Report, the Steelers are now officially out of the running for Cousins. Yeah, it's over. Palmer revealed that the Steelers kicked the tires early on Cousins, meaning they checked in and did their due diligence, but ultimately chose not to pursue him any further. Why? Well, it turns out Pittsburgh has some pretty good inside intel from none other than their own offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith. You remember, Arthur Smith was the head coach in Atlanta last season where Cousins was playing before. Injuries and poor performance derailed his year. According to Palmer, Smith still has close connections in that building and got the real story on where Cousins is physically and mentally after that Achilles tear. And let's just say, the report wasn't glowing. Kirk Cousins, to his credit, has had a solid career. He's made Pro Bowls. He's thrown for 4,000-plus yards in multiple seasons. But let's be honest, last year was rough. Coming off that Achilles injury, Cousins tossed 18 touchdowns, but also tied for the most interceptions in the league with 16. That's right, he was neck and neck with Baker Mayfield for that not-so-glamorous stat. Now, Pittsburgh's quarterback situation? It's not ideal either. The team let Russell Wilson and Justin Fields go elsewhere during free agency, and they still don't have a locked-in starter for 2025. So naturally, fans have been anxious, wondering if we'd go after someone like Cousins just to stabilize things. But the Steelers' front office doesn't operate on desperation. Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin are playing the long game. And here's the kicker. If Cousins isn't a true upgrade, or if his health raises too many red flags, they're not going to waste cap space and locker room chemistry just to plug a temporary hole. And right now, it seems like Pittsburgh is all in on Aaron Rodgers. They've made their offer. They're waiting. Patiently. Painfully. But the message is clear. It's Rodgers or bust. So if not Pittsburgh, where could Cousins end up? According to Palmer, one team making a strong push behind the scenes is none other than our division rival, the Cleveland Browns. Now that is something to keep an eye on. The Browns are a team on the cusp. They've got a nasty defense. Nick Chubb could be back healthy, but Deshaun Watson hasn't lived up to expectations. If Cleveland adds Cousins, even a slightly diminished version of him, they could become even more dangerous in the AFC North. So, yeah, while Cousins may not be a fit for us, his landing spot could still have ripple effects for the Steelers. We're talking potential division implications, schedule challenges, playoff matchups. All of it matters. Now let's circle back to Rodgers for a second, because this Cousins news actually reinforces just how committed the Steelers are to making the Rodgers deal work. And that's a double-edged sword. On one hand, it shows that the team believes Rodgers still has elite football left in him, and who are we to argue? He's a 4-time MVP, a future Hall of Famer, and with weapons like George Pickens, DK Metcalf, Pat Freiermuth, the offense could be absolutely electric. On the other hand, it also highlights the risks. If Rodgers doesn't sign, if he chooses Minnesota or just retires altogether, The Steelers could be left with very few veteran options and forced to reach in the draft or make a late trade. It's high risk, high reward. And in classic Steelers fashion, they're betting big on a calculated move. Let's wrap this up, nation. Should Pittsburgh move on from Minkah Fitzpatrick while he still holds some value? Should they cash in on George Pickens now instead of letting him walk next year? Or do you believe this core can still make a run, Minkah, Pickens, Metcalf together? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. I want to hear what you think about all this. This is your team. Your voice matters. And if you're still watching, first off, you're a real one. Second, don't forget to hit that like button and smash that subscribe so you never miss another Steelers breakdown like this. We've got more exclusive stories coming, so stay locked in with us. Until next time, keep waving those terrible towels, and as always, here we go, Steelers. Here we go.